come this way instead of looking at the camera. It'll be easier for you. So say your name again. Spell it.
My name's Javier, Javier.
Okay, perfect. And now, tell us about what high school was like for you.
So high school for me, it was basically just a walk in the park. It was just show up to class, do the bare minimum, and and then just show up for the exams and pass it, no problem. Just really focus more on my athletic career than I did my education career, and everything just still came easy to me.
Okay, talk about your study.
My study, basically all I would do is just take the notes in class, whatever other homeworks they gave us to do at home, and I would just do the homework, get it all done in like maybe 10 minutes, and that was it. And then I'd go back outside and start practicing again for sports.
Okay, so did it come easy or hard, or what was that?
It was really just easy for me. I mean, for me, I was more just like absorb it kind of a person. Like I would just have to pay attention a little bit in class, and that was it. And then if there were ever times where I did struggle or anything, I would just take me like another 10 minutes to talk with the teacher about it, and then I would get in, go back to my same way where I would just barely pay attention, just do the bare minimum, and that was it.
Got it. So talk about your mindset now going into college, how you took that mindset into college.
So going into college, they were telling me my high school career that it's going to be basically the same, just a little bit more challenging. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's going to be the same thing. I can do the same thing as I am doing right now, where it's the bare minimum, just show up to class, take notes, and I'll be perfectly fine and pass every class and all the exams with A's and B's.
Okay. So now talk about the first test you showed up to and what that result was.
So the first test I showed up to, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go take this exam. It's gonna be easy and pass it.
Let's say that again, but say the type of exam it was.
Okay. So it was more of a.
Let's start here. So I thought I should just show up.
So I thought I would just show up for this exam and pass it, and when I did, I realized that it wasn't the same as it was in high school. I realized that I was struggling more, that I actually needed to put more time and effort into studying and understanding the material better, so that way when I would come to taking the exams, I would be more prepared for it and ready for it and pass it the first try.
What type of exam was it?
It was, for the first try, it was a placement exam for my English and math class, just to see where they would place me in for math, see if I needed to go a little bit of a lower math class or if they had to put me in a higher math class.
And what happened?
So I go in and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be a walk in the park, and then afterwards I get my results and I realize that, shoot, like I can't be doing this no more. I failed it. I got like 40% on it. That's when I'm realizing, like, okay, shoot, now I got to step it up, actually put time and effort into it, and actually work my butt off to earn those grades.
So why do you think you got 40%?
I think it was just because I wasn't really prepared for it. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be fine. It's whatever. But then, yeah, just like high school, and then getting into it, I started going over some of the questions. I was like, okay, I think I got this. I got it. But then obviously there was a couple where it's like, shoot, I'm not sure. I'm stuck on this, and I just froze up and just bombed it.
Did that ever happen in high school?
Not really. I mean, in high school, everything was just straightforward. Got it, understood it. There were a couple times where it's like, okay, I think it might be this, and it got me, but I mean, nothing like to that extent.
So what do you think you went through, what you were going through then in the college placement exam versus when it never happened in high school?
I think just because of the material that they were testing me on, I think I wasn't just really prepared for it and ready. So I didn't like going into it. I know a lot of my friends, they studied for it, but in my mind, obviously, I'm thinking I'll be fine, and I clearly was not ready at all for that.
So do you feel like your brain just couldn't access?
Yeah, like my brain just felt like I feel like I knew the material, but for some reason, like I just could not, for the life of me, figure it out.
Okay. So you couldn't access it.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you do?
So then after that, I came to Alma and I talked to her about my issue and what was going on, and that's when she recommended doing PACE, doing other brain work activities, doing lazy eights to kind of get my brain going and to help me with that. So then the next time I went in to take that placement exam, I did that. Before I walked in, I did PACE just to get my brain flowing and get everything going. And then I went in, took the exam, and if there were ever questions where I got stuck on or just froze up on, that's when I would start doing lazy eights. I would also start doing PACE again, and then my brain would kind of get going again, and I would be like, okay, it's this. And then it ended up resulting in getting a 90% on it.
Got it. So what do you think happened with the movements and the new result that you created? What do you think happened?
I think just the movements helped me focus a little more, because
No, I mean the movements. What happened? Like the movements, and then did it activate your brain, or what?
yeah,
happened?
like the movements helped me like basically get my brain flowing, like be like, oh, okay, because I know before it was like it was just dead, like it didn't. Once I saw something I didn't know, it just stopped. But then once I started doing the movements, it kind of just kept going and pushing me a little more and helped me get to the results that I got.
So talk about how the movements, or say call them power moves, how the power moves activated your brain, and what happened after that.
Okay.
So like get in more detail. So like you talk about which movements it was. So the power move activated my brain, and so I started doing whatever.
Yeah, so like the power movements, specifically with lazy eights, like I would look at a math problem, for instance, and it seemed somewhat familiar, but I just couldn't remember it. So then I would start doing lazy eights, and after a while, like my brain started realizing, okay, this seems familiar, it seems more familiar, and after a while, I was like, oh, okay, I gotta do this, this, and this in order to get this answer, and I would just do that throughout the exam, and it helped me get to the score that I got.
Cool. So what did the movements do?
They activated more my brains. They helped me like send like the material that I needed to answer that question.
Got it. Good. Good. So from a standpoint of other people, who would you recommend this to, and why? Why would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to anyone who feels that they might be struggling a little bit, and even if they're not, I would still recommend it to everyone, because really, even if they don't realize that they're struggling a little bit, they're gonna eventually need it, because it's gonna help them in the future and in the long run to help them focus more, help them get that extra step like that. It's gonna be an advantage to them.
Good. Good. And what situations? I mean, if you're going into, if you're going to go this, and you're going to go this, or you're going to go this, then I really recommend you do this before.
I mean, I'd recommend it for anyone who's about to maybe even take an exam or into a big job interview or whatever the circumstance is. Because really, by doing this, it helps you focus more, it helps you be more, how would you say it, more just ready, calm, and just helps you in general.
Would you say it accesses part of your brain?
Yes, it helps you kind of like relax and open your brain up more and help you, how would you say it, just get the blood flowing and your brain activating, so that way you'll be like, okay, this is what I gotta do and this is what I need to say, and it just helps you out.
Good. Awesome. Okay. All right. Sweet.
Okay.
Thanks.
No problem.